Rivals of Aether 1 didn't have any shields, and Rivals of Aether 2 does have shields. So what are shields? How do they work? When do I shield? And most importantly, what do I do after I shield? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about all of those things, and stay tuned to the end, because at the end, I'll be going through my own gameplay, over some clips, talk about why I'm shielding at the times that I am, and why I'm choosing the options out of shield that I am. Let's talk about shielding in Rivals 2. So to press shield, you bind one of the shield buttons, which is L or R by default. And there's a few options you can do out of shield. You can, one, just let go of shield. Two, you can roll left or right in shield. While you're doing that, you're invincible. You can press the attack or grab buttons to directly grab out of shield. You can also just jump out of shield. Even while I'm still holding the shield button, if I press jump, it'll just cancel my shield, just make me jump right out of there. You can also press the special button to parry while you're in shield, or if you have a parry button bound, you can just press that as well. So those are all the options that you can do that are just basic options out of shield. Now let's move on to more advanced techniques that you can do out of shield. The first one being a wave dash out of shield. You can do this by jumping out of shield and then air dodging to the side while you're out of shield, and that'll instantly make you wave dash. Now this can be a little tricky. If you only have one shield button bound, you'll have to let go and press the button again. So I really recommend having two shield buttons bound for this purpose alone. So you can hold shield and use the other shield button to input that wave dash out of shield. And also, because you can jump out of shield, this means that you can do aerials to counterattack right out of shield. So you can do any quick aerial that you might have bound with Rano. Forward air is really good. If they're behind you, back air is really good. So you can jump and do a quick counterattack to hit them after they hit your shield. This might be easier to do if you have a specific short hop button bound, or in the advanced settings, there's a macro that allows you to hold both jump and attack to automatically get a short hop. I just slide my finger across jump and attack to do this pretty quick. But whatever is easiest for you, learn how to do your fast aerials right out of shield. Another option that you can do out of shield is you can up smash directly out of shield, or up special directly out of shield. Now up special, not very useful with Rano, but for other characters such as Raster, an up special directly out of shield can be a quick counter to land a kill move. So the way that works in this game is there's two ways to do it. You can either have tap jump bound, which tap jump is when you press up on the left stick, it'll make you jump. I do not have it bound. So at first I thought that there was no way to do an up smash out of shield, because if you input it, it'll just make you jump. Even if I flick up on the C stick, it just makes you do a jump instead. But what you can do in this game is if you just let go of shield, the animation of you letting go of shield can actually be canceled by an up smash or up special. So if you just let go of the shield button and then press your up strong attack, it'll, if you don't press it too soon, it'll just do an up smash directly out of that. It'll cancel all that letting go of shield lag. And same thing with up special. If you just let go of shield and then press up special, it'll just cancel all that end lag. One more option you can do out of shield is if you are shielding on a platform or anything that you can fall through, you can just drop through the platform directly out of shield. Now there's several ways to do this. One way, which you saw me do right there, was if you have two shield buttons bound, you hold both of them, you can just press down and it will make you shield drop instead of spot dodging. If you're only holding one and you press down, it'll just make you spot dodge. The other way to avoid this, if you only have one shield button, is if you go diagonally. Just flick the stick directly diagonally, you can just drop straight through. You can also just cancel the letting go of shield animation by pressing down. I don't like this method as much because I feel like sometimes I'll press down before I let go of the shield button and accidentally spot dodge instead. Also, there's a few frames of you letting go of shield still that you'll have to deal with as well, so it's not as fast. My personal favorite, because this is the way you have to do it in Super Smash Bros. Melee, is to dash forward and then hold shield, so I'm already holding to the side, and roll my stick down. So I'll do a dash shield input right away, and then I can just roll my stick to that diagonal, and I'll get the shield drop every time. To me, this is the most consistent. I can just set it up in shield, but sometimes you can't always get a dash shield. Sometimes you're already shielding, so when that happens, then I press both shield buttons and drop straight down. Also notice when you do the diagonal method, you do fall a little bit forward, where if you do both shield buttons straight down, you do go perfectly straight down. So important to know how that's going to interact with your character in case you need that super specific spacing. Now let's talk about shield health. As you continue to hold shield, you'll see my shield get some cracks in it. And once it goes all the way, it'll shake a little bit, and then it'll break and I have that slow pop up, slow fall, and then I get put in knockdown. Note that you cannot tech this. Even if I try to press shield as I'm landing, you can't tech it. It'll just make you go into straight knockdown every time. So basically, every time your shield's broken, you're going to get hit really, really hard. And if you're at kill percent, they're just going to land a smash attack on you, and they're going to be able to charge it up, and you're going to die. So you don't want your shield to break at all costs. So say you take a little bit of damage. How do you get it back? You can just wait. So if I wait here for a few seconds, do whatever, just move around. Now I got a little bit of shield health back. Those cracks will start forming right away. Again, you also regenerate shield even faster than just doing nothing over time. You can generate shield faster by hitting your opponent. You can hit them, or you can hit their shield. So if I hit their shield a few times, now I have a full shield. So I'll demonstrate it again. See that it's about to break. Hit their shield a few times. Well, I guess that's not enough. Maybe I gotta hit it harder. And now I regenerated it a little bit. So important to know, I think you generate more shield health if you hit them instead of their shield, but sometimes that can allow you to absorb one or more hit. You'll see that the dummy's shield is not breaking right now because I'm in training, so they just have infinite shield, so you can hit as much as you want, it'll never break. But typically, as you'll probably know, when you're shielding, when your shield gets hit, it'll speed up that decay process and lose health even faster. Each attack does a certain amount of shield damage, as well as the shield will just start to develop cracks over time. So that way, you can't just hold shield forever, sometimes you're going to have to hit your opponent back as well. So you have all these options to do out of shield. You can wave dash out of shield, jump out of shield, all these different things. How do you know which one of these to do while you're in shield? Now, typically you'll want to wait for your shield to get hit first. As soon as your shield gets hit, then you want to pick one of your options. Some options are better to do before your shield gets hit, but typically you'll wait for your shield to get hit and then you can do one. The most common one is to grab directly out of shield. This is because grabs are your juiciest combo openers. You can do different throws with some characters to start your combos and land a lot of damage. Some even combo into kill moves. Some throws are kill moves themselves, so landing a grab is huge, and it can be really hard to land a grab because you have to get so close. But if you can bait someone into coming close to you, you block their attack, and now you have your grab. So most characters and most of the time, you'll want to just grab right out of shield. Now, note that it takes a little bit of time to grab. So if I go into frame advance here, I go into shield. Now if I press grab, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was the first, you see active 1, 2. That was the first active window of grab. So it takes 8 frames before you can actually grab your opponent. So note that it's not instant. If they hit you with a fast enough attack, you cannot grab them. So what's a faster option? Some characters have a faster option like Rano's short hop nair. Sometimes if they might land behind you or hit the back of your shield, so you can do a short hop back air because you won't be able to grab them from there. Now, if they hit you with a safe enough move, like Zetter Burns frequently want to hit your shield and then they're going to start doing their neutral B all over the place and it's too fast and you're not going to be able to have time to grab them or jump away, you can roll away and just get out of there, reset to neutral, and start the whole thing over again. Sometimes if you don't want to commit to a full roll, since if they read that you're going to roll, that can be punishable, you can just wave dash away. Sometimes they're going to hit your shield with a move that's too long range, but it's still slow enough where your grab isn't going to reach, but you have enough time to get over there. It'll take a while to let go of shield and then start running. So what you can do instead is wave dash towards them and grab, or wave dash towards them and do any move. The option I use the most out of shield is jumping out of shield. This is super non-committal. It just gets you out of the situation without having to roll or to be stuck in a wave dash animation. You just jump and you're out of there. The reason this is bad is if they throw out a second move, if they read your jump out of shield, you're completely vulnerable on your way up and your way out. So usually most characters like up tilts, or if they do an instant aerial, will catch you as you're trying to escape in the air. So situations like that, rolling away or just continuing to hold shield so you can block the second attack as well will be a better option. So shielding can be pretty strong in this game. So what do you do if your opponent is just sitting in shield and you don't know what to do about it? Now, first of all, the main counter to shields is grabs. Grab goes right through an opponent's shield. So even if they are shielding, you can grab them. Now, if they roll or spot dodge, that invincibility goes through grab. So spot dodge in particular is a great way to beat grabs. If you think you're going to get grabbed, you can spot dodge and then you can counter with your own thing because that grab's going to go right through you. But for the most part, if people are just sitting in shield, you can just run up and you can grab them. What you can also do is wait for them to do one of those options that they're going to do. They're usually going to be shielding and waiting for you to hit their shield. And once you hit their shield, then they're going to roll away. They're going to try to grab you. They're going to do whatever. So you can just avoid hitting their shield altogether. One option is to just do some movement and wait for them to do something. And they're probably going to roll. They're going to spot dodge. They're going to do something. And then you can go in and punish with whatever you want. Another way to beat an opponent who's shielding is to just hit them with a safe move on shield. This could be various types of moves. This could be a quick low aerial. This could be a jab. This could be an attack behind them. When you hit someone behind their shield or land behind their shield, that's referred to as crossing up. So if I were to approach from the front and hit them with an aerial here and land behind them, that's crossing up their shield. Most people would try to grab after their shield gets hit. And if they were to grab right now, if the Zetter were to grab, he would grab the wrong way and I would be able to punish from over here. So crossing up shields is a great way to make aerials safe on shield that wouldn't otherwise be safe. So if there's various ways to beat shield, then when should you shield? If someone can just run up and grab me, then why would I ever shield? Well, you can't react instantly in this game, so you can kind of try to play a prediction game of when your opponent's going to hit you. The number one time to shield in this game is when an opponent is jumping and they're landing right next to you. You can run up and shield, and they will almost always land with an attack. And most aerials are unsafe on shield unless spaced perfectly. Like Rhino's back air has to be hit with the tippy toes of that back air in order to make it safe. So if you think that they're going to land right on you with an aerial, you can run up, shield it, and then you can grab them right after. So that's a great time to shield. Another time to shield is after you miss a move. So if I were to land here, I would just shield because they're going to try to run in and punish me for missing my move. And shields come out frame 1. It's the fastest option you could do defensively in this game. So usually after you miss a move, you'll want to shield. The other option after you miss a move is dash back if they keep grabbing you, or you can miss a move and instantly spot dodge. But at first, in general, when you miss a move and you think that you're going to get punished for what you did, then you can shield. Or your opponent's hitting you with a bunch of jabs or something that's not knocking you up, you can just kind of hold the shield button to kind of get out of a lot of that and wait for them to finish their combo string and then punish once they throw out a heavier move. Two more advanced times of when you want to shield is on a platform, just because shield dropping is so strong that shielding on a platform is great, because the only way they can hit you is from below or jumping up with an aerial, and you can't grab in the air unless you're Krag or Loxodon, who have special moves to allow them to grab in the air. But for the most part, characters can't grab in the air. So if they wanted to grab someone shielding a platform, they'd have to jump, land, and then grab, which gives you a lot more time to react. So shielding on a platform is great because as soon as they hit your shield, boom, you shield drop and you counterattack them. So shielding on platforms is incredibly strong compared to shielding on the ground normally. Another time where you might want to shield is right after a ledge dash. So the way ledge dashes work in this game is you will lose your invincibility from the ledge as soon as you attack. So what you could do instead is shield. The shielding's frame 1, you'll carry that invincibility all the way into a shield, so you're perfectly invincible to attacks that whole time. Now, they have to hard read that with a grab if they want to beat it, so this is a great option and a great time to shield as well. You can also bait people into hitting your shield by running up and shielding. There's two types of ways that shielding interacts with running. One is it's going to completely stop your momentum in your initial dash. You'll see that I dash and then I instantly stop as I shield. Because if you're inside that range that allows you to dash dance, that's called your initial dash, and it will just make you stop all your momentum. You'll see right there I did a little bit too late. Now if you're beyond your initial dash, you will slide. So if you're already in a run, you slide a little bit after you shield. This can be super useful as a run-up shield option to get close to somebody. If they're like landing with an aerial that's far away, you can kind of run up, shield into it, and then grab them to punish afterwards. And now I want to take a few seconds to go over some clips from my gameplay and analyze when I'm shielding, what I do at a shield, why I'm shielding in the first place, and why I choose the option out of shield that I do. So here's a look at this first clip. So we'll watch it again and I'll pause right before I shield. So right there, I just landed an up smash on their shield. I know that they're shield dropping and they're going to be throwing out an aerial. So I choose my fastest defensive option to avoid getting hit, which is shield because it is frame 1. They attack a little bit too late. They probably wanted to do an aerial, but they wait all the way until they landed to do an up tilt. Now up tilt, when it's that close, is punishable. So I know that I can just jump and do a quick back air to counter hit them and start a combo of my own. Here we have an example of a shield drop counter hit. So once again, I'll go back, play it from the beginning, and I'll pause right before I shield. So I just threw out a forward tilt there, and I see them approaching with an aerial. Luckily, a lot of Claren's attacks are very reactable. A lot of them have a lot of startup, so I throw out an attack. I know I'm about to get punished for it because I whiffed pretty bad, so I'm just shielding. Now I get hit on my shield, and I love shielding on platforms like I mentioned earlier, so I'm looking for that shield drop as soon as I get hit. And Rano's forward air after shield drop is really good because it hits below him with a spike hitbox, which is really good for starting combos. That's exactly what I get right there. I land with that spike hitbox, and now I am in such advantage I can do literally anything I want. I comboed it into a grab, to an up throw, and I just continue to get a few more hits after that. We have a similar story to this one where I get hit on platform, I shield drop, start a combo off of it. So go back, I'll pause once again. So in this case, I didn't whip a move, but I'm in the middle of getting comboed. I land on this platform, kind of gets me out of the combo. I realize I might not have enough time to kind of jump away or run away because Lockstone can cover basically the whole platform, or if they jump in up air, it just covers so much area. So it's a lot safer just to shield, cover all those options because I'm on a platform, so he can't grab me unless he jumps in side Bs, which is a little bit slower, and people don't do that as often. So I shield. I recognize that honestly anything Loxodon hits me with when I'm on a platform won't be safe enough for them to get away. I can almost always punish with a shield drop aerial, so that's exactly what I do. I land with the back air, which combos into a grab, which combos into the rest of the combo. Now this one's a similar story, except this time we're going to watch from the perspective of my opponent, the Loxodon. They end up getting a shield grab on me, so I hit their shield with an unsafe move, and they just grab me and they get a big combo opener out of that. So we'll go back and watch it again. They shield just because I'm landing from above them. And I mean, Rano kind of can needle grab, but they take the risk and they shield instead to block anything else that I do. I go for an up tilt, which is generally safe on shield unless I'm exactly on them, but he kind of takes a step back, so usually I can't get grabbed after it. But I was a little bit too close in this case. I hit him with the up tilt. They recognize that that move has a lot of end lag. They grab on reaction after getting hit by it. And they start that combo of their own, which doesn't get them the stock, but it definitely could have if they edge guarded me a little bit better. Thank you so much for watching. And by the way, you can hire me now for live one-on-one coaching over on Metafy. There's a link to do that in the description. I also post a lot of the recordings of those coaching sessions over on another YouTube channel that's also linked in the description. So subscribe to that if you want some more educational content, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already.